This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports. You're listening to the Captain Jack Sports Show on Northeast Streaming Sports.
Hello.
Hello.
Wait, okay. Yes, I'm here.
We see you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, mates and wenches, I am the captain, and these are the wenches, plus one upcoming, may or may not, and a semi-wench, as I sure will hear from our boy Daniel tonight.
Unfortunately, our wench, Angria, will not be able to make it this evening.
Okay.
However, there will be a special appearance by Little Jack.
Okay.
Because I'm babysitting him.
Okay, well, I was going to say then there'll be Little Jack and Jack, you and Peggy, and then semi-wench.
Yes,
Daniel.
she'll be here. Yes.
Daniel, who I don't know if Daniel is going to be wearing a sun. Peggy, did you see that, by the way?
What? Which one?
When Daniel is our kind of like extra wench, he has a sun hat, and last time he wore like a shower curtain muumuu.
It was very sexy.
Bringing some color to the broadcast, no doubt.
Definitively. So we said, in fact, it was Heidi herself that said that if you're going to be a wench, extra wench, you got to dress appropriately. So he did.
That's right. Wench clothes required. I wanted to start the broadcast, though, by a moment of silence for a icon and a visionary in the Raider Nation who passed away yesterday, and that's Black Hole Rob Rivera. And if anybody's been in the nation and following the nation for the last couple of decades, he's put together a nationwide network of black hole clubs in a bunch of cities. They have sponsorship, they have rules. They were really an alternative to the booster clubs. And it turned out that we worked well together. I just wanted to extend all of our condolences to his family, Raiderette Donna Marie, and everybody who knew him and worked with him and loved him. So therefore, I wanted to really start out this show, I guess. Well, Heidi, you know, you're the captain here. What do you want to talk about tonight?
Well, let's start with that moment of silence.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for remembering Raider Black Hole Rob, an icon in and of himself. Great contributor to the Raider Nation. He'll be missed, and his memory will live on.
Yes, it will through his clubs. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Well, have either of you seen any football lately?
Yes, we have, and we've been watching our Raiders transform themselves into a different team. And I'm so sorry Angria wasn't here, because we talked about my favorite subject, which was what appears to be a change in the whole way the defense is being presented on the field.
Yeah, it was a last minute thing that she kind of got called away to. So Jack will be arriving shortly, and then I'll be hosting with him. But she'll be here hopefully for the next episode, and we'll have more Raider stuff to talk about then.
Right.
So tell me about this change that you saw. What are you seeing, Peggy? What's so different?
Well, for one thing, I see a discipline that I hadn't been seeing in the last, well, I always say 20 years, but certainly during the Gruden tenure. I see guys that know where they're supposed to be on the field, they know what gaps they're supposed to cover, they're staying home when they should, and as a result, they're in a great position to make tackles, make stops. The inside play of the D-line has really been spectacular. We have held our opponents to minimal running yards, and particularly this Sunday, Pittsburgh, who was already struggling, the 32nd ranked running game last year in 2020, they got a total of 39 yards rushing against our D-line. The other thing, of course, is the pressure, okay? Not just sacks. People need to understand that. It's not just sacks, but pressure on the quarterback to make quick decisions. And sometimes quick decisions, Heidi, as you know, aren't good decisions at all. And that's what you hope to do. That forces turnovers, that ends drives early and interrupts them, and gives us good field position. Derek has been starved for a defense that's played even half good as this since he got here in 2014.
Yeah, and that pressure that's coming from the defense is coming without the blitz.
Yes.
We're blitzing very little. This is actual pressure from the line that we're seeing, which is amazing.
I mean, the change is miraculous, and it comes from the mind of Gus Bradley. Everybody knows I'm not a fan of Bradley, but I knew he would bring some sanity to this defense. And the thing Angria was going to talk about is the young players in the secondary, the discipline, the focus, and particularly our poor little guy, Abram, who was all over the place last year, had no clue where he was supposed to be, what he was supposed to be doing. He was throwing his body around, making mental mistakes. We're not seeing that now.
Not tackling.
Yeah, that was another thing, but that was the whole defense. I think they had lost complete confidence in Gunther's vision, whatever that was. But other than that play where Najee stiff-armed him out of the way, he played a solid game yesterday. We saw Corey Littleton get involved. He was handling his gaps. He was making tackles. We saw an interception, by a bunch of guys out there in the secondary. I don't really know that well. I think these are Gus Bradley guys, Heidi. What do you think? I mean, he's starting to bring in guys that he trusts to run his defense.
The interception was by Mullen, so it wasn't a Bradley guy, but it was Bradley that taught him how to be in the right spot for that interception. Because if it was Gunther's defense, God knows where he would have been and who he would have been on. But a lot of these guys, Trevon Moehrig, he's looking sharp. That safety, putting Abram in the box has really seemed to reignite his career. And the attitude is so much better. He had the swag. There's nothing wrong with having the swag if you've earned it, but he hadn't earned it. He was just, acting like he was all pot and, he didn't deserve it. He didn't earn it, and he got put in his place. And this year he has been put in his place, and he's doing it the right way.
I actually wanted to interject with one comment. I do have a lozenge in, so I will do this as quickly as possible.
You go right ahead, Captain Jack. Your few little words that you're able to get out are welcome.
I'm just saying, when you're talking about if where would Mullen be if it wasn't for, I was going to say if Gunther was there, Mullen would probably have been running around with his computer and his abacus and his slide rule trying to figure out where the hell he was supposed to be instead of reacting and making the play like he did.
And don't forget the sundial so he would know when.
Yes, that's right. I mean, Gunther's game was all in his head, all in the players' heads. It was like, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You see what's going on in front of you. Read the keys, and then, do it. The other thing they're doing well that all good defenses do is they flow to the ball well. You get a handoff, and I see 3 or 4 guys moving in the direction of the ball. That was something that's totally been absent from the Raider defensive units for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And I know, hi, Daniel. I know everybody's gotta be happy to see that. The one thing I'm going to say, my name is Mrs. Killjoy, okay? We need to put the brakes on some of our enthusiasm, some of these things, or, the defense is reformed, this, that, and the other. We're going to, we're playing great, and the swagger, that we're going around with. We need to remember the last 2 seasons, we were a September, October team, not a November, December team, where it really matters. Yes, this team has a different look, but people forget that in the game of football, key injuries could change the whole landscape.
I would say that this is the movie where I'm going to go back to Kelly's Heroes, okay? And I'm going to be Donald Sutherland,
right?
Okay, the tank driver. And right now, because you're below me, why are you bringing me down, Moriarty?
Yeah.
Days,
why are you killing my enthusiasm? Why are you telling me to put the brakes on?
No, you are correct. I just want to make sure that I have to be a nice flippant comment because I agree it's wonderful now, but we will see if it translates. It's right now, it's September. We obviously got October and November and December to do. So right. I'm just saying, for those of you that are pissing on Peggy's Wheaties, no. She is stating by law that this is always, or I shouldn't say always, but for the last 2 years, it's been a run up and hide team. So we've been running up and then we've been hiding in the end. This is a Gus Bradley defense, and I actually was taken aback when you said you didn't really like Gus Bradley's defense, and I was like, well, gee, in consideration of what we had, I mean, it's definitely, you know, a lot better. But again, I agree. I like what I see. I want to continue to make sure that we are seeing it through the season.
There it is. Let's bring OG Daniel in here to talk about some defense. I know he's got some thoughts.
Well, I got a lot of thoughts, offense and defense.
Hi, pretty lady.
And the dress is out to the cleaners, okay? But so much. This defensive line, I don't care what you say about the defense. The defensive line in itself is its own evil entity of destruction. And I love that. It's a wrecking ball. Okay. Straight up, these guys, they don't blitz, but they're hurting quarterbacks, putting a hurting on quarterbacks. Our secondary, I don't know, man. Saw Trayvon Mullen get that interception. Saw Jonathan Abrams is doing what he's supposed to do instead of that knucklehead stuff. Well, except for he was a little high when he went up on Najee. But I'm sure he'll learn a lesson from that, because guess what? You don't want to be on that end of a highlight reel, especially with somebody who thinks he's so tough as he is. The offense, though. I'm sorry. I watched Derek Carr launch that one to Henry Ruggs that deep downfield, and I was sitting there going, this is Stabler to Speed Kills 21.
Cliff
Cliff Branch. Thank you.
Cliffy,
It gave me a flashback of that. I saw that again, and I'm like, whoa. And I'm sorry. You could be Miss Killjoy, but I'm not going to bring me down on this. I will say, though, the Miami Dolphins game, do not let up on these guys. These are the guys who eliminated us from the playoffs last year.
Right.
And a humiliated team will come out with everything they got. They will sacrifice their bodies to destroy the next team they play. That's just the pride of athletes. They're going to come at us with everything they got. We need to come at them. Yeah, but we need to come at them with everything we got. I don't think, if they're not stupid, they're not going to put Tua in there. He's hurt. They don't want him dead, because our defensive line will kill that poor boy. I'm excited. I'm staying excited. As long as we don't play down to the competition and we stay at our level, it's going to be a beautiful year.
I was hoping we were going to talk a little bit about what's going on with Cleveland. What do you think the Raiders are up to?
Well, he was out. He had a back injury, and then he played 12 snaps. They may just be easing him back in. Don't know. I mean, he's a defensive end who stops the run. Not exactly a sack monster, but he's a defensive end that stops the run. Maybe they can use him. I think they're going to use him as depth in the middle, because, look, we had Gary and Conley. He was a number one pick. We ended up getting, a third or a fourth round pick for him. We don't want to do that again with Clee. He's more valuable. We are not going to even get third or fourth round for him. We would get like a fifth or sixth round at tops. And if we don't want to give up draft capital, he's just good, solid depth for us right now. He's more valuable to us than he'd be to anybody else. So that's what
Especially
I think.
With Gerald McCoy down.
Yeah, Gerald McCoy, he's done. He's done. I feel bad. He was playing like his old days, and in the preseason, he was beating up San Francisco. But now I think he's done, and it's sad. But I mean, the guy played so long in the NFL. What I thought was funny is Donald Penn putting Gruden on notice, saying, "Hey, I'm ready to come out of retirement to play with this defense."
Come on and play,
with the defense you got. I like that.
The thing,
Arnett is not Conley 2.0 because Conley actually has some skills and can kind of play. Arnett can't.
Well, Conley's hurt this year, so we don't know what kind of skill set he had. He was hurt last year. He was hurt the first year that we played, shin splints. I don't know what value that was.
You got somebody spamming you, and they're uploading virus. Jack,
I
go
got
in
him.
the chat.
I got him. I got him.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. I wanted to also focus back on the offense. You made some really good points for me that brought up some things. And again, I've said to you, Heidi, in another show, remember, I thought that the improvement of the offense and the improvement of Carr and basically the offense being the only unit that we could count on this team, Gruden has done everything that he said he was going to do with that unit. I've always been proud of them. I'm a little concerned about the run game, but that's going to come with the development of the O-line. I'm also concerned about red zone performance, and particularly first and goal. And I'm kind of scratching my head. I know other people in the nation are too, is why we haven't developed a heavy jumbo package with one of those big backs that are just standing there on the sideline. What is his name? Regas or Regas? Regas. And I of course, we use Ingold sometimes in those situations. I mean, we can't get away from that. We have to power that football in when we get that close to the goal line. And I'm afraid in the first two games, I haven't seen it. We would have scored 40 points if we had the kind of red zone execution that we needed.
Yeah,
And
we
lack
didn't
of
have a
penalties.
help. Yeah.
Penalties killed us in the red zone a couple times.
Yeah. Between Leatherwood and Colton Miller.
Yeah, that was a surprise, Colton, especially that illegal man downfield penalty. I mean, I'm like, Colton, and let's talk now about the criticism being thrown at
Colton was headed to Philly.
People were kind of disappointed with the Leatherwood pick. So the people that were disappointed with it are coming up with this, Leatherwood this, Leatherwood that. Does anybody remember what Colton Miller did his first year here in 2018?
Pretty much fell apart.
Had 27 sacks yielded, 8 penalties, 6 of them in the first 8 games, 4 false starts. We have to live with that when we have a rookie on the O-line. I mean, it's just something you go through. It's a development process. If Colton Miller got that kind of time to develop, I think so should Leatherwood. So, all the things, the little dingbats that are being thrown at him, I think we just have to grit and bear it. We have to go through it in order for this guy to develop. And of course,
I agree with you 110%. Look at Jonathan Abram. First year, out injured in the first game. Second year,
half of the first game,
did some bonehead stuff. He did some real bonehead play. This year, looks like a professional.
Yeah.
Looks like a real pro.
I'm really happy for him, and I really want to see it. But everybody was thrilled. And Carr, like most NFL quarterbacks, has a little trouble trusting receivers. When I saw him hook up with Ruggs like that, when I saw him hooking up with Brian Edwards, a guy that, Heidi, you remember I told you he was a guy to watch. And sure enough, I think he's going to be a real part. When Carr starts trusting these guys and starts spreading that ball around, having all these receivers, and the use of Foster, Moreau, and Carrier, I just love the strategy and the play designs that I saw in that offense. But as I said, Gruden did what he said he was going to do. And we just have too many weapons. I don't care how good a defense is. Fourth quarter, we're going to wear them out.
We have a cameo from Angria.
Yeah,
I just wanted to say, Peggy, you're 100% goddamn right.
We talked about it earlier today. I wanted you to talk about your guy, Avery.
You effing.
Sorry, I forgot.
Can't you block him permanently?
Oh yeah. Are we still getting the spam?
I blocked them when I seen them. So, and I was going to actually interject about the Browns, but then the third Japanese person with nastiness came on. So I will be very adept on trying to get that out as quickly as possible. I will say that Skip has a lot of bluster talking about the Browns, and he is more than welcome to call in and talk to the ladies. And I will tell you this, Matt, I am a lot nicer than they will ever be to you if you're going to talk about how great the Browns are. I'm just saying, if you'd like to call in, and if anybody wants to call in and talk about their team, the number is 813-699-0834. And I will put that on here in a little bit along with the link. So, folks, you got Peggy, you got Kevlar prom dress, aka Heidi, you got an upside down Angria in and out, you got our semi wench, the cross dressing Daniel, and they will be a hell of a lot harder on you talking BS. They will agree with you when you have good points to say, but if you're going to talk some serious shite, you better be able to back it the F up. That's all.
Or be devoured.
And I want to say one good thing about Cleveland. People may argue with me. I think they have the best 1-2 running punch in the league. Absolutely. And I also think for the first time in decades, they have found a real coach. You can't beat Chubb and Hunt. I mean, if you're a defense, you're just shaking in your boots because you know that if Chubb comes out, then I got to deal with Hunt with that slashing running style that he has. And then Chubb just makes creases into holes. I really think, but that's the only good thing I'm going to say about Cleveland. Other than that, you got an overrated quarterback.
I will be asking questions about that Chiefs game. Hard questions.
Mm-hmm. They have to be asked. Everybody was happy to see the Chiefs lose Sunday night, though.
Yeah.
And I hope Raider fans noticed how many points that Chief defense gave up. I mean, a lot of points.
And that Chiefs run defense is suspect as it gets.
Yes, it does. And the days of us shaking in our boots, we got to play the Chiefs 2 times a year. I never bought into any of that. But nevertheless, the Chiefs are not the Chiefs of 2 years ago, invincible, unbeatable. Not anymore.
Well, the reason they became beatable is because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers studied our film on them, I believe, in the first game we played.
Mm-hmm.
And they played it exactly the same way we did.
That's right.
I absolutely believe we can sweep them this year. I think we can sweep our entire division.
I believe so too. And that, although watch out for Denver, not necessarily their offense. I love the fact that Teddy Bridgewater has found a new starting job and a home, but that's Vic Fangio on that defense. And he's one of the craftiest, most astute defense coordinators, ex-defensive coordinator now, in this game. I mean, the first year that Mac got to Chicago, Fangio's the defensive coordinator. Mac has a wonderful year. Fangio leaves. What's happened since then? Disappeared. I think we can't underestimate Fangio's ability to adjust. And if anybody can defeat our offense, he might be one who can do it.
Might be.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about the team losing a couple of their key players. Jewel, who had 110 tackles last year, and Jerry Judy. I'm sorry.
Judy, yeah.
Jerry Judy footwork videos. You see those things? Oh, he's stomping all over the sand. That's great. Great footwork. But your hands are like cinder blocks, bro. You drop halfway.
Bro. I mean, I can't see. I didn't see any integration of Judy into that offense last year, and they claimed everything was going to be different this year. But once again, they're throwing and targeting him, and he's not catching the ball. I don't know what to say.
Non-factor.
Because it's happening to the Broncos, I have a smile on my face.
Yeah.
Always when it's the AFC West opponent. And I'm going to tell you something about Chargers that I think Herbert's going to miss Lynn. And I say that for a number of reasons. I mean, when a young quarterback comes in, has the kind of year that he had last year, and then you snatch his offensive coordinator and his offensive-minded head coach from him, there's going to be an adjustment period. Are they trying to impose a new offense on him? I don't know. He hasn't looked sharp like he did last year. And my fear level of him has gone down slightly.
Heidi, do you believe in the freshman
there wasn't tape on him last year.
Yeah.
Heidi, do you believe in the sophomore curse when it comes to Herbert?
Possibly. Like I was saying, there's tape on him now. There wasn't tape on him last year. And, some of his, weaknesses have been found out.
Yes.
Just like the Chiefs, some of their weaknesses have been found out and figured out. And good chance the Chargers are not going to be as strong as they were last year. There's a period of adjustment, and yeah.
So we also took their defensive coordinator and some of their best defensive players and their defensive
yes.
all the coaching staff.
Well,
I'm not worried about them.
Hey, Neil, we're not going into Denver in the late fall. We're going into Denver in about 1 or 2 weeks when it's actually, dare say, warm. Okay. And so don't worry about that. Let me get that phone call while I see it.
Well, and the other thing is, I briefly mentioned Bridgewater at the top. I mean, I have always seen him as a solid quarterback, not fancy. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he has all my respect for coming back from that catastrophic knee injury and rehabbing and bringing himself back up to physical health. But I feel like he made a mistake when he left New Orleans. Carolina promised him a starting job. They had him 1 year, and then they're going out and getting a guy like Sam Darnold to replace him. I mean, really? But he found a home in Denver. Huh?
Sam Darnold's been solid for him, though.
Yeah, they got good coaching down in Carolina.
And their defense is scary.
Okay, timeout. The chair recognizes Captain Jack.
Yes, Captain Jack.
I just wanted to let you know that we got Houston Raiders Steve on the line because I wanted to make sure that you guys knew he was there. Steve, you are on with the Wenches and the mini wench, Daniel. What do you got going on tonight there, Steve?
I tell you what, I'm still on cloud 9. I just want to say Raiders.
Hang on a second. Yeah. I'm going to turn up the volume so people can hear you. Let's try that again, Steve. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I want to hear a loud Raiders because we went in there in Pittsburgh and we kicked some tail out there on Sunday. Those Steelers fans were thinking they couldn't believe that they were getting their butts kicked. And when Lug made that catch, were all jumping up and down, yelling as loud as we could. And the Steelers fans, they thought, okay, we're not going to come back in this game. And it was good because they deserved to get their tails kicked in their stadium as arrogant as some of those fans are. There's some great Steelers fans, but there's a lot of condescending pompous idiots over there that keep harping about the Immaculate Deception. 50 years later, Merrill Hodge did it in the pregame with Rocky Blyer.
Yeah, well, the Steelers fans shouldn't be surprised at all, seeing that we've won 5 of the last 7 meetings. I mean, we had 4 and 12 teams that beat them. So why are they surprised?
Roethlisberger just cannot beat the Raiders. We have Roethlisberger's number.
I don't know why the matchups have all been different every time we've met him. You know, different defenses, even different defensive coordinators, and still he struggles. And with us, for some reason, I don't know why. Karma for the Immaculate Deception. What do you think, Captain Jack?
Right on the nose. And again, Steve, you were there, I'm sure. And actually, Steve has a sign reading my first game, you know, because he was over there in Pittsburgh with his sign with his first game. But it was also, it said, "Go Raiders," and happy. And by the way, happy birthday, Steve.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Happy birthday, Steve.
We didn't have a game because of COVID, but I was going to say, that's a beautiful stadium. There's some great fans. I love the rivalry. And one of the things that Rocky Blyer said, he goes, let's have this Immaculate Deception or reception like we did. You know, and then one thing that they mentioned was that they said the night
we lost.
was their best team, but Rocky was hurt and so was Franco. But they said that Rocky Blyer didn't see the touchdown because he said, we're screwed, we're not going to win this game. And he said his back was to he was looking at the stands, and all of a sudden the crowd went crazy and everybody ran down the field and he ran down there. But he said that, you know what? He says that was just a great game in the rivalry. But I'll tell you what, they still live in the past with that Immaculate Deception. They all were flashing that thing about the first win by the Steelers ever in postseason against the Raiders. So I tell you what, it was good to see them eat some humble pie. But I want to tell you one thing. The Steelers fans, they said, do we have the team that we had when we played Buffalo or the team that we had when we played the Raiders? The fans were turning on Roethlisberger. They were so pissed. They said he doesn't have the football, and he should have hung it up last year and not come back.
I do actually believe that Roethlisberger is playing a year too long, and
I agree.
And he got a fantastic. Well, he was lucky enough that they gave him a contract worthy of a starting quarterback. They kind of buckled in, but I'll tell you what, Pittsburgh for the last, I want to say 5 years, has not addressed who will take over that quarterback role under Roethlisberger. They've got like Hobbs. They've had the kid that likes to swing, helmets against defensive people. I can't remember his name. They have not addressed who their backup quarterback is going to be, and it's going to bite them in the ass. If not this year, definitely next year, unless they find some free agent, freelance quarterback to be. Their quarterback woes are going to start for a couple of years until they figure out what's going on. And the thing is that they're a decent enough team that they're not going to have a high draft pick. They're going to have to actually move up to get a quarterback of worthy in order to possibly address that.
Well, you know, their running problems, you know, let's face it, they were glad to see Bell go, Le'Veon go, but they never really replaced him. They tried to work the James Conner experiment for a couple of years and realized they needed to really trade up. I think Najee is special. I think he has a lot of skills, a good work ethic, but it's not going to help because of what Captain Jack just said, that quarterback situation.
Right, but Najee will get better as the offensive line gels, but they need to find a quarterback definitely.
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts on Mariota and the Mariota packages? And now that he's out, when he comes back, do you see those packages being implemented or protecting him from injury and keeping him on the sideline?
Implement him, and if he gets injured again, just cut him.
Yeah.
We'll find another backup.
I mean, why did Mariota lose his starting job in Tennessee? Besides the fact that they changed the offense for a pocket quarterback, he couldn't stay healthy. That's the main problem with him. The guy's missed 19 games in the last 3 to 4 years, and you cannot, build an offense when your quarterback is always out hurt. And this is what Heidi, we talked about it when we had our a show in January. Run first quarterbacks, and I love Mariota. I love his wheels. I love his intelligence, everything about him. But if you can't stay healthy, it's like you're not on the field. We cannot build a team around a guy who can't stay healthy.
Hey, Steve, thank you for the call as well, Steve, and thanks for being there supporting Raider Nation in Pittsburgh, brother.
All right.
I had a nice chat with Jared, and I tell you what, I hope we don't have a letdown against Dolphins at the Cup game, and you all were doing a great job, and I'm glad to know you. And I just want to say one last thing. Our thoughts and prayers are with Don Rivera and Raider Rob and everything. This has been a huge loss to Raider Nation. He was a great guy, and he was always looking out for everybody. Thank you, and have a good night. Permission to go shore.
You got it, brother.
Good night.
Good talking to you.
And getting back to I love
Mariota. He just exemplifies the saying the best ability is availability.
I love the guy for 31 yards.
You said it.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be back, week 4, week 5, something like that, they're saying. That's what they're saying, week 4 or week 5. But I think they should throw those packages back in,
I agree with you. I agree with what you said before. Put him in, run him. He can't run him, get rid of him. What we really need to be worried about is Carr's got a little nicked up ankle, I understand. And, this is what I said about this premature enthusiasm about the season. I mean, he goes down. We already saw what happened in our 2016 season. He goes down game 15. Basically, our season is gone. Playoff hope's gone. I worry about Peterman.
I'm glad you addressed that, because I've seen a lot of people saying we need to sign Cam Newton. No. And I will say this, okay? Nathan Peterman is not Superman. But you know what? I like the fact that he knows the playbook.
Yes.
I like the fact that he played all of our preseason games with an offensive line that's not even as good as what we have up front now, although a lot of them are playing now because a lot of our guys are hurt. So he knows that, but our skill players that he's playing with are a lot better than what he played with in the preseason. So if he can play he's okay. He's not Superman. He's like maybe Clark Kent, but Clark Kent had a good job at the paper. And I think he's a decent reporter. And if, God forbid, if we have to see him play, I like our chances with Peterman more than I like our chances with Pat. I'm rubbing McGroin, okay?
Well,
what we had with him. And to be honest, I like that as well.
And Captain Jack, I hear what you're saying, but when I look at a quarterback, I look for the intangibles first, the things that you cannot teach. And the two things that Peterman has that concern me is, number one, being able to see the field at the first glance. And then second, being able to read in that first glance. I hate to question a person's intelligence. I've seen brighter quarterbacks with less skills than Peterman. That concerns me about him. Go ahead.
Yes, Dave, we did sign someone to the practice squad. It is a young man that we actually had on the practice squad or on the spring roster, Kyle Slaughter. Sloter, Kyle Slaughter. He's been around, but he's never played an NFL snap, regular season.
Gentlemen, I'm looking at the 701, and I think I know who this is. Is this my Browns are the greatest thing since sliced bread? Matt Bouchane, are you there, Matt?
I'm here. We're doing pretty well. Last year was a good year. This year we're 1-1. We have, Kansas City for 3 quarters. You know, we whipped up on the Texans, and I was rooting for you guys against, you know, the Raptors and the Steelers. You know, you guys are you're good so far. I'm not down that. Just that you guys are getting a lot of injuries. You know, Mariota's hurt. So
No,
I mean, if injuries pile up, that you know you can't replace them all. You know.
I got you, Matt. But here's the thing: I'm gonna do and dig down deep, and I hope I don't screw this up because my voice isn't the greatest that it is. I'm gonna go deep here, Matt, and I'm gonna pontificate and try to bring out my Denny Green right now. May he rest in peace. Okay. You said it yourself. You had Kansas City for 3 quarters, and here it comes, Matt, and you let him off the hook. You let him off the hook.
Oh, that's the Captain Jack. That's the Captain Jack rant.
He's not that good. I want him replaced. He's not really that good. He's like your guy from last year. No one really likes him, but I don't know why Stefanski still has him on board.
Okay, now who are you talking about that you want to have him let go?
It's I forgot his first name. It's Wood. He's the defensive coordinator for the Cleveland.
Okay. Well,
yeah, he hasn't been. You know, he let that game kind of go against Houston. You know, on Twitter, on all of the Browns groups. I mean, we said fire him. We gotta get rid of him. You know.
Yeah, I was gonna say Paul Gunther was available. You could have had him.
Oh, no, we don't.
They done seen him twice, right? When he was with the DC with the Cincinnati Bengals. I have a question though for a Cleveland fan. What's happening with OBJ? What's going on?
I think we're gonna trade him. I honestly think we're gonna trade him.
Really?
You know,
yeah, I think before the trade deadline, we're gonna trade him.
so is he healthy and inactive? Is he healthy?
The game for the MCL tear or sprain or whatever.
I mean, can he pass a physical?
I
just have to ask.
He probably could, but maybe they're not. They're just trying to figure it out.
I think the only thing that OBJ can pass is the Ducci down the left-hand side.
Yeah, but honestly, OBJ, I think they're gonna trade him. I think. But you want to know who's a good quarterback right now?
Yeah, sure.
Stat-wise, as Captain Jack knows all about analyzing stats.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield has some good records right now for stats, for cleavage, attempts. You know what I'm talking about.
I got you. And who actually leads the NFL in yards passing right now?
I think Derek Carr, I believe.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure you saw that.
Well, leading the yards passing is different than my guy has more completions, but we're not going to argue. And less penalties too. Less penalties.
Whoa! Are you saying that Baker Mayfield has less penalties than Derek Carr?
I'm talking the team-wise. Browns team and the Raiders.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Matt.
Does he not know who we are?
When have the Raiders not been the top 5 in penalties?
Well, I forgot about that.
Okay, so I mean,
come on now. Everybody knows the league has us on the top of the list when it comes. Make sure you get the Raiders at least 5 penalties. That's a handicap.
Toss the laundry.
Right.
Okay, now and again.
Yeah, you're right about that. You know what team right now is bad? Minnesota.
I was gonna say that Peggy did say, and I know that Heidi also knows that she gave you guys a job as far as the best running back tandem in the league right now sits in Cleveland with Kareem Hunt and Chubb, and she said
absolutely.
That. Yeah, exactly. We're the best running game in the league. Now, if you guys in the wintertime, when you guys come to Cleveland, and if your defense stops our running game, I'll be very impressed.
It happened last year, and we beat you in the running game because nobody could throw a ball because of the wind.
Yeah, you guys.
It is what it is.
We beat you with our running game. Y'all couldn't beat us with yours.
Right.
Well,
Because the wind don't have nothing to do with running the football.
That was the autumn wind.
The first like week 1 to week 6, then it goes. You know what I'm talking about. No, nothing. I'm not making that up.
Okay, I got you. Now, I tell you, Matt, and I know you will. I know, Matt, that you watch religiously because we all know you're here, and we appreciate that. So, and we know that you will continue to watching and give us a breakdown of what is going on with the Browns. As of right now, like I said, looking at what they got in that division, okay, we've already beaten the Ravens and the Steelers, okay. We got
exactly. I appreciate it. You guys did good.
We got the Browns left, and we got the Bengals. And by the way, don't sleep on the Bengals. I think that might be a trap game as well.
They're like
the Falcons. They're gonna be they're gonna be spoilers.
They can be spoilers, but again, Matt, hey, and again, I appreciate you calling in, brother, and it's always a pleasure hearing from you, man.
You too, Captain Jack. Be well. You guys have a rest of your good night.
All right.
Good luck.
Take care.
Take it easy.
Unfortunately, I have to limit. I have to slip out now. I have West Coast clients, and they're always on the phone, and they're on the phone now. But I really appreciate Heidi. You know, I always like to be on with you. And the captain is my captain, and it was very, very good meeting you as well. And I hope to be on a show with you guys again real soon. We'll do this 2 Tuesdays.
It's always an honor.
Right? Oh, I appreciate it.
Always an honor.
Thank you so much for having me on, Captain.
Hey,
Talk to you soon.
It's our pleasure, honey. You
have a good night.
Every time. We love you, and we got Heidi, and we got Angria when she's
I'll be back. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
Question. Paul Gunther is with the Vikings now. How they doing?
Not so good. But now I don't think he's the defensive coordinator. I think he's like a assistant. Yeah, assistant to the water who calls the guy who calls for the Cokes in the locker room when the machine is down.
He brings the team donuts and coffee. But
he's still high enough to make sure that they suck.
Right. Well, I mean, he's not coaching the kicker. But
speaking of the Vikings and kickers, thank you very much for Daniel Carlson.
Oh yeah.
They drafted him for us and everything, and then fired him after 1 or 2 games.
He had some bad games.
1 game. They fired him after 1 game because he missed.
How many did he miss?
Well,
he missed a few.
Hey, you know what? I'll take it.
We'll take him now.
He's good now. He hasn't missed a lot with us.
He didn't. Yeah, he didn't feel good in purple. I guess I don't know. Hey, Captain, can you do me a favor? I'm naturally loud, but you got to turn up your mic a little bit, just because it's not like your voice or anything. It's just a little hard to hear you.
Okay, I think my mic is up as far as it goes, but I will look.
So Heidi, sporting that mohawk. I got the reverse mohawk. What do you think?
It looks good. Looks really good on you.
Is this better? Is this a little louder?
Oh yeah, better.
Okay, there you go.
Do you hear my toys going off in the background?
I heard and
the E-I-E-I-O.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. So yeah, I heard that. So little Jack is amused. That's all I care about, which is good.
Yes.
Hey, folks, again, this is the Captain and Wenches Show. I'm the captain. Those are the 2 wenches. We had one of our wenches leave. Yeah, one of our wenches has a really bad, needs a face trim just like I do. But again, He looks good in the proper light, like when there's like black light or in the corner, and don't ask him a question or we're gonna be singing the Lola song. Hello, LA, 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 la,
Oh,
la.
God, my eye itches real bad.
Folks, it's the Captain and Wenches Show. We appreciate everybody being here. Come into the show tonight. I will put out the what is it? The link again. It is on your screen. You can call into the show 813-699-0834, 813-699-0834. We are dissecting 2 games already with the Raiders. Again, I like what I see. And we're all behind our teams. And again, I know that Matt's behind the Browns, and Matt's a proud Browns fan. I know that Gabe is a proud Giants fan. And I was looking at some of the comments, and it's like he was right. Daniel Jones did not screw up that game. It was their defense. Okay, so I will give him that. Daniel, by the way, how's that guy Derek Carr doing? Just wanted to make sure he knew that we were paying attention as well. Come into the show. There's the link there. We got everybody available. Okay, and Vicky Orr, is good to see you. And again, y'all gonna have to talk more because I know if I talk anymore, I'm gonna be sounding like OG by the end of the night.
Hey, I do this by gargling with Drano, okay?
You do such a damn good job. One of the things we got, because we should be talking about who we got this week, okay? Yep. And first off, unfortunately, I won't be there. I did sell my ticket, and because I wanted to make sure that I was fully up for another trip, so I'm going to be missing. I think what is it like week 4 is at Los Angeles. Is it week 5 or week 6 we go to Denver?
I would have to look it up. I don't know offhand.
Yeah, I know this. We've got a home game against the Dolphins. Then we got to go down to LA and play another home game against the Chargers on Monday night. And then we come back and play a home game against the Bears.
Okay. So it's the Bears. Okay. And Jack is very happy that we got a game against whoever we got. And Jack is calling for a win. And again, and we also need to talk about what other people are talking about. And the fact is that, like I said, I think the MRI for Carr came back negative. If I'm reading that, but again, and I think Daniel stated it himself, is the fact that Tui not going to be working here much longer. Kind of like that's my homage to what is it? Office Space. The guy couldn't pronounce the guy's name. But not going to be working here very much longer. Tua is out right now with bruised, not broken, but bruised ribs, and already. Daniel has already stated that if you are the Dolphins, would you throw Tua up against our defensive line, which has been hurting quarterbacks? And that is both with a young quarterback by the name of Jackson, putting him in his place, and then also with an old statue back there that was hurt quite bad. So, I would say no. And by the way, Thumper's World said, are the Chargers even going to have? No, I said the Chargers are the only team in the NFL to play 17 away games. They are the only team in the NFL to play all of their games are away games. And that is the truth. So there you go.
Well, here's a scary thought. So let's say Tua does play and Tua does get hurt, for real hurt. All right, so the Miami Dolphins, who have a lot of money, go and trade for and throw some bank at Deshaun Watson. We make a trade for Tua as backup and turning him the Raider way. Just a thought. He'd be reunited with a lot of his teammates. Josh Jacobs, all these guys from Alabama. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Very far-fetched.
Yeah, I love far-fetched.
Yeah.
I'm a storyteller, man. I love the far-fetched stuff.
Yeah. I can't see that. I mean, I can see the first part, although even that is far-fetched when, you know, and again, if you're talking about Deshaun Watson, I think the Texans are being smart that they don't like to have the negativity of what would happen if they have a quarterback. And again, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. I get it. But there's so much smoke in that kitchen that you can't get in the kitchen when it comes to the allegations against Deshaun Watson.
Right.
And I think that they are being smart by saying he's not going to play for us this year. I don't even think Miami is stupid enough to trade for him. I think that he is going to be persona non grata until next year because he's not even going to be deposed in that case until February, by all accounts. And if he's not even going to be deposed until February, I really don't understand why they're keeping him on a roster other than maybe the ramifications of they have to in order to have his rights. If they find out later on that he is innocent, that they have to have him on the roster. Because that's the only reason why I can see him being on the roster. If I was the Texans, I would IR him for like a broken hangnail, and just he's on the roster, and he would be on your roster for connectivity, because you're just wasting a roster spot in my mind. But that's just me. Heidi, I'm glad you're back. Jack's all right. I'm good to see that as well. But we were talking about I don't know if you had a chance to hear what Daniel was saying about, you know, if Tua got hurt.
He sounded delusional for a minute.
I was just reaching for some fantasy stuff here.
It sounded like you were in fantasy land.
You know, it was just a little theory, little stuff. Now, what's funny, if something like that happened, I'll be like, so I'll get all arrogant about it.
That's okay. And you could. I would let you.
You heard it here first. I can do that whole thing. But
when I'm wrong, I admit it. It's just, it happens so rarely that I don't have to admit it very often.
Okay, well, if I'm wrong or if I'm right, I'm going to tell everybody I just pulled that out of my butt.
Yes, Raider Neil Backman, we should probably just rest Jacobs. I completely agree. We do not need him re-aggravating turf toe even worse. And if we have a game that we should win, as long as we go out there and execute the way that we should, the Raiders will win. The thing is, they can't look at it as they can't look past them. They have to actually show up and play the game.
Go after him, rest Richie Incognito, rest Josh Jacobs, and we got this. If they go after him, we got this. Our defensive line will make sure of that. Yeah,
I totally agree.
And Tua is more of a scrambler than Jacoby Brissett, right? Isn't Jacoby Brissett a pocket passer?
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett is he's kind of like a tweener because he's a runner, but he's a runner after the play breaks down, kind of like Carr, except he runs more than Carr. He will throw the ball. I mean, I've seen Jacoby since he played here at Florida, and he's a decent quarterback. And I'm actually kind of amazed that the Patriots did not give him more of a chance when he was up there in New England. And, he could have been a very good player for the Patriots, but they didn't give him a chance. And the last time we played the Colts that year that Luck retired at the beginning of not at the beginning, but the end of the year, when people were absolutely amazed that it happened, we played Jacoby Brissett in Indianapolis, and that was the game that we won in Indianapolis with, I think, the Eric Harris pick six, or it was either a pick six or a pick at the end to hold the game for us. I was at that game. Jacoby is a decent quarterback, but I actually think he had more weapons in Indianapolis than he does have with the Dolphins overall. Dolphins got some decent weapons, but I think the Colts had more.
Yeah, but with that offensive line, it's going to come crashing down on him fast. He's going to have to run with happy feet. Either way, play a spy, no matter what quarterback shows up to play. And just crush that offensive line, make that quarterback under pressure, hit, sacked, strip sacked. Love strip sacks. And just come after him. Just go after him. In years back, go after him. Our offense, we break out the Corvette and let him pass for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of yards. You know what I mean? That's what he can do. He can do it. He's carrying this team. They say that the great quarterbacks can carry the team. This was the argument against Carr so many years. What's he done this year? He's carried the team because he has a defense. He's capable. When it's time, when it's Chargers time, break out Richie Incognito, break out Josh Jacobs. Let's go at him with everything we got.
I know that we've talked about the defense and the defensive line, but I think we still need to address the absolute monster that Max Crosby has become. He has
player by PFF in defense.
Yeah, he has.
PFF.
You know, he had a good year last year. He had a great rookie year. He had a good year last year, but this year he has rededicated himself to health and taking care of himself and playing the game, and he is just an absolute beast. He really is. He's one of the leaders of the defense, and his energy just keeps going. His motor keeps going, and the rest of the defense feeds off of it. And I think that just bears saying.
Well, who's a guy who, through his career, has had 6 sacks in I don't know how many years, and increased that by 33% this past weekend? Oh, that'd be Solomon Thomas. I didn't believe in Solomon Thomas. I was making jokes about him when we got him, and I'm watching him. He gets 2 sacks on Big Ben. I'm like, whoa, I was wrong. I was so wrong about that guy. I think Gus Bradley has set him up to play the way he wants to play. Sounds like it's working. Carl Nassib, same thing. I think he dropped some stuff off his shoulders that's made him better because he was pressured. He was in there. He did get a sack against the Ravens. This defensive line is scary good. I love this defensive line. And whoever we throw in there, it doesn't matter. Somebody goes down in the center, we throw in Phylon. He's scary. That dude's a monster. Our defensive line is the last worry this team should ever have this year because the backups are killers. Okay. I love this. I love this. And I'm telling you, man, watching them beat Pittsburgh, it was like watching 1975 unfolding again. It was just, wow. The offense, the defense, everything. Our offensive line is the one thing we got worries about. And we're, bringing guys in, but next man up mentality seems to be working so far. We just got to get that running game going. And with Josh Jacobs hurt, and also Drake got hurt in the first game, but he still played. And he played hurt this week. But yeah, the way we're doing it, we got to go to that power game so he can excel there, because we've got power packages and we've got zone packages for offense for running backs. We need to go to the power and leave it there for Drake. When Josh comes back, flip back over to the zone offense scheme because that's where he excels. Oh, the cat said OG Daniel is right.
Yeah, he said you are right on.
I was going to say, does anybody know anything about the tackle we picked up? I just saw a name. I didn't really get a chance to see anything about him, but I know that we picked up a tackle from, I think it was from the Niners practice squad. I just saw that.
I thought it was from the Giants.
Okay.
I don't know. I was at work all day.
You picked up a tackle today that's bounced around from practice squad to practice squad to practice squad.
Okay.
And I think he was an undrafted free agent.
Okay. Well, again, it's a body, and the way things are nowadays with what we got. Remember, Denzel Good is gone for the year, which is unfortunate because he was the most valuable person on that offensive line last year. Every position he played above and beyond well, okay? Whether it was right tackle for Twinkies and Twitter, whether it was the guard for Richie Incognito, whether it was for Gabe when he was out for a game or so, every place that Good played, he didn't play good. He played well. He played above. And that's going to be a very bad loss for the offensive line.
Brandon Parker came in and did the same thing this last game.
And, I'm glad you mentioned that because I am not a big fan of Brandon Parker, but he actually played well.
I wasn't a fan of Brandon Parker, but after watching him play this weekend, I was like, maybe I'm wrong. I love being wrong and stuff like that.
And
Brandon Parker has really developed. He really has.
Yep.
I was never a big fan of his either, but starting last year, you could start to see it, that his hard work in the offseason had started to pay off. And so far this year, he's continued in that trend. So hopefully he will continue. And hopefully Alex Leatherwood will get a hold of his penalties and quit getting called for stupid stuff.
Well, I hope Colton Miller stops getting called for stupid stuff.
Wait a second. I have to address the fact that Richie Riche is in the house. And Richie Riche is one of my cohorts with the Broncos. I can't remember exactly what he has a show for his Broncos. I hope he's still here. Richie, I would love to hear from you because we're obviously talking about AFC West ball right now, and we would love to hear Richie again. I enjoyed getting a chance to be on the show with him when we were talking about we were doing like Raiders Broncos preseason talk about the team. Hopefully he's still there, and I'm hoping that I can have him come in. The link, I'm going to put up the link up again, Richie, because I would love to have him join us tonight. Again, apologies, guys. Just wanted to make sure. I saw him, and I'm like, I got to address it. Go ahead, folks.
The tackle we picked up, Barton from the Giants. Mike Sarah pointed out. He also played for the Chefs. And this guy is like 6'7", 302. He's got the size. Maybe we can develop this guy into something scary. That'd be nice. He's young. He's a young player. He was a UDFA. But yeah, Mike Sarah pointed out. I couldn't remember his name. He got it. You hear about Sean Penn or not? Donald Penn. I'm so old.
Yeah, I've heard of Sean Penn before.
No,
well, that's Madonna.
Yeah, no, Donald Penn. He put Gruden on notice, saying, "I'll come out of retirement to play for this team with the defense you got."
Okay, and folks, I'm very happy to say that we got him in here because I goaded him enough in a good way. I want you to welcome. Folks, I'm very happy to say that we got him in here because I goaded him enough in a good way. I want you to welcome. I'm very happy You got to turn you got to turn down your stuff, Richie, because I'm hearing myself, and God knows I hate myself the first time.
I had you on YouTube already, so I turned you off.
Thank you. Don't turn me off. Richie, please introduce yourself to everybody here. Enjoyed having you. Excuse me. I'm sure that you enjoyed having me on. I'm definitely enjoy having you on. Richie, go ahead and tell everybody who you are and what you got.
Hey, man, I'm with MHRT Network. I'm a co-host of a Broncos Talk is the name of the show that I'm on the podcast. Unfortunately, guys, I can't stay that long. I have two very young kids, so I just put them to bed so I can't have them wake up and my wife will kill me. But I always enjoy our talks, Captain Jack, and I saw your podcast live, so I wanted to jump on, and I appreciate you shutting me out.
You got it, brother. And again, I got to say, 2-0 Broncos, and people are already saying, print up Super Bowl tickets. But Richie, again, Richie understands who the Broncos played to get to that 2-0.
Yeah, I'm in the realistic fan base. I'm not. You're only as good as the teams that have been put in front of you at this point. You need to start playing teams like the Steelers and the Ravens that are coming up further in our schedule to really start figure out where you really are as a team. They have good offensive lines, they have good defensive lines, that kind of stuff, and you really need to start going through the gauntlet in order to get to the right spots. I mean, as much as it pains me to say it as a Broncos fan, congratulations on your win against the Ravens. They really are a really good team, or at least a halfway decent team, despite their injuries. And I think it says a lot about where the Rangers are at this year, which is concerning as a Broncos fan, to say the least.
Chiefs also, didn't they?
Pardon me?
They beat the Chiefs despite their injuries.
They did. And that says something about kind of where the Raiders are at here. So it'll be interesting to see how injuries impact the Raiders and that kind of stuff as well. But a lot of it also comes around to matchups. Where does your team match up against our team and vice versa? So, for example, the Ravens are predicated on running the ball. And if you basically reduce them down to a passing team, they can be beaten, not easily, but certainly they can be beaten. Similarly, the Chiefs are reliant heavily on the passing game and certainly are not particularly great in the running game. So if you can eliminate the passing game, it is certainly far easier for you to beat them as a team. Other teams have done that to the Chiefs. In fact, the Broncos just last year, if you look at how we did against the Chiefs, our defense is good enough on the back end where we were able to really limit them in terms of what they were able to do.
Hey, stop talking about our back end.
Well, I wasn't talking about your ass end. I was talking about the back end.
You set yourself up to do that, and it, Captain. Better write down the time.
No, I didn't say anything.
So I'm also one of the very few Canadian Broncos fans. I don't know if you guys can see the new custom print flag I have behind me here.
See, that's why we can't be mean to him. He's a Canadian. They're like the nicest people.
I know. What can you say, right? I'm like the arch rival that you don't want to curse at, right? So
there's only one Bronco I never hated, and that's Peyton Manning's. He makes the best commercials.
Well, have you seen his Monday Night Football?
It wasn't so. No, I saw.
See, I really like the breakdowns that they're able to do personally, not just because he was a Bronco, but just in general. I'm compared to some of the other fans, I'm actually leaning heavily more on the technical side of things. So I look at things like offensive line, defensive line, protections, that kind of stuff, which kind of sets me personally apart from some of the other fans, where some of the other guys are all about, oh my gosh, we got a great new quarterback. And I'm saying, that's fantastic. Who's the offensive line? So I'm kind of more on that end of things, and that's what kind of sets me apart from some of the other fans.
You got it.
Well, I prefer with Peyton Manning, cut that meat, you know, better than his Monday Night stuff.
And I would like to say, folks, if you want to get good information about Denver, okay, make sure you head on over to MHRC Network. It's Rich and this is wonderful. What's it? The 7-foot Mexican.
So he's the show that I'm on is Broncos Talk, and we have to be pretty close to the tallest overall podcast on the internet. Combined, we are 13 feet tall. I'm 6'2", he's 6'10", my co-host. We're just large human beings. We'll just leave it at
that. and I tell you guys, I'm hoping that we can figure out when you guys can go to a Raider game or vice versa, because I'm not going to go unless you go, because I want that picture. I want to be in the middle between you two. It'll be like, you know, the Rocky Mountains and I'm the valley in between. Okay. But and they might, and even or if they put me on like a box just so that they know that, and you can see the picture of the box that they put me on, just so I can go and give them hugs on the side. That's what I want to see. But
yeah, in my previous job, they used to call me one of the two towers because I was quite a bit taller than everyone else. And it was me and another guy. We were 6'4" in the office space. So again, we were both, you know, taller than, you know, 95% of the office. So it's always been an interesting thing when I walk in and people find me by shouting over the cubicles because I'm one of the few people that can hear them.
Hey, and Rich, I gotta say now, who do you guys got coming up, and when do you see your schedule getting a little bit harder for Denver?
For Denver, that's pretty easy actually. The gauntlet for us is really the Steelers and the Ravens to come back to back. So we go. The next game is against the Jets, which I suspect we're going to win. However, I do think that a lot of Broncos fans need, frankly, for the Raiders, you guys come up with them as well. Their interior defensive line is excellent, and so is their interior linebacking core. So I think that they're going to give a lot of people a harder time that I think they're getting credit for right now, given the fact that they're 0-2. So I think the Broncos will beat them, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout like people are thinking. Where our gauntlet's going to come into play is going to be the Steelers and the Ravens. So that's going to be the 28th, or sorry, the next Sunday. So not this coming Sunday, the next Sunday. And then we play the Steelers on the Thursday Night Football, which is going to be another pretty tough game. Both of those teams are pretty good.
And then you play the Raiders, and then you play the Browns. Week 4 through 8 is the gauntlet.
Yeah, and those other two games, the Browns have looked a little dicey. I actually expected them to be a little bit better than they are. They've had some ups and downs, and frankly, I didn't expect them to be. I expected more ups from the Browns than I did the downs, and unfortunately, they've had some pretty down segments of their game. So I think the Browns are more beatable than I originally expected them to be, but the Ravens and the Steelers are the two teams that I'm probably the most concerned with.
No.
I haven't gotten to the Raiders yet, by the way. The Raiders are 2-0 right now, and I'm not going to lie, that surprised me a little bit. If I'm going to be honest. And again, I realize I'm like one of three. Okay, so I did not expect your offensive line to be as good as they are right now in terms of being able to protect your quarterback, given their age, the time together, et cetera, et cetera. So I think as a Raiders fan, you have to be pretty happy with yourself and where your team's at, because one of the hardest positions in football to field and put out there, despite the inexperience that you have there and the lack of cohesion that you have there with the time together, you guys have done pretty well.
Okay. And again, and Richie, I appreciate you spending time with us, brother, because again, God knows I don't want your wife to be pissed off at you because
I have the door shut, so I'm hoping that provides me some protection.
No, it does not. I'm just letting you know, but anytime spent, and again, tell the 6'10" Mexican I said hello as well. Tell all the people I said hi to you, and again,
Will do. Thank you very much, guys.
come on anytime, brother. You are always welcome. Good.
I appreciate it. It's nice to meet you, both of you guys. Thank you. Bye for now.
There you go. I think
Nice meeting you, Richie. Thank you.
Richie.
We're going to have them for lunch. We are going to have the Broncos for lunch. There, I waited till afterwards. I was polite.
No. Yeah, and the thing is that Richie is good to. If you think so, trust me, he'll take it. And we were giving it back, but again, it's and I mean, you as long as we're civil, but with you can be civil and snipey at the same time.
Right.
So,
we're gonna have Bronco. We're gonna be eating horse meat for lunch.
I mean, I think so, but that we will see, because we gotta figure out what's going on, because again, as I will admit with Richie, it is all about matchups, and right now, we got to figure out who's in our lineup, and we need to make sure that we keep our lineup as healthy as possible. As Peggy was saying earlier, you get one bad injury to a person who shall remain nameless, and it's not just 2016. Again, I'll go back to a couple years prior. I'll go back to an injury again by a gentleman by the name of Campbell. And what did we end up doing? We end up getting some guy off the couch, paying him way too much money, and we still had a crap season. So I'm just saying, you got to keep everybody healthy, and things happen. Things happen
Right.
in the world.
I'm just saying, no. David Bowie and Queen wrote a song about our defensive line.
Yeah, I got the song.
Mm-hmm.
That guy off the couch still managed to have a 4,000-yard passing season.
Yeah, I get it, but the guy off the couch. Ooh, nice butt, by the way, Daniel. I remember a guy with a 4,000-yard passing season. I also remember a guy that we had before Gannon that would have like 5,000, or maybe not quite 5,000 yards. But it's the symmetry and the cohesion of the whole team, and it just wasn't there with Jeff George. It wasn't there with Carson Palmer. It just wasn't there. So let's hope that we can keep our people that need to be injury free. We need to make sure that Mr. Carr plays the game. We need to make sure that Josh Jacobs, if he needs that rest, Richie Incognito needs that rest, we give it to him. But you know what? We need to make sure that whoever's playing for him, when we say next man up, that they're going to man up and ball out.
We need to realistically, we've got zone packages for our offense, and we've got power packages for our offense. Drake plays a power package. Switch it. Go to the power package. Stop the zone, because he was missing cut. There were a couple of holes open. He was missing the cuts to the zone. Go to a power package for Drake. Make the adjustment, John Gruden.
And again,
I don't think DC is going to get that extension ASAP.
Yeah, I saw that as well. We're going to be like Missouri. We're going to be a show me team right now. And again, I should say misery. I like what I see, but I want to see, like Peggy is saying, and I hate saying it, but I agree with Peggy as well. I want to see it November and December.
Yeah, he needs to finish the season strong before they shell out an extension for him. I don't see them doing it anytime soon until he does that.
And China,
as you notice, it's a quadruple, and that it's called Black Patch. You actually taste the oak barrel in the rock.
I have no idea what you were talking about. I was
I'm replying to some of the comments.
Okay. Mariota's out for he's out at least 4 weeks when he got put on the IR, right?
He'll be back week 5, they say 4 or 5, something like that.
Now, have they changed the short-term IR again? Because before it was short-term IR was like 8 weeks.
I think so because of COVID. And by the way, folks, for the wondering, it's not a tumor. It's not COVID. It's not strep. It's not even the flu. It's upper respiratory. And when I have it for weeks. So you will be hearing from me hack quite a while. And it's unfortunate that, so I apologize in advance. I wanted to at least have a show because I didn't want y'all to forget about us. But
wow, upper respiratory is evil. Long time ago, I'm a singer. I do karaoke contests back in the day and all this stuff. I was in a long-term 8-week show, a karaoke contest. I came down with an upper respiratory and had to drop out the last 3 weeks because my voice was gone. I couldn't practice, couldn't do nothing, I couldn't talk, coughing like crazy, although I cough like crazy all the time. But Jack, when I heard that, I was like, oh man, it took me 3 weeks to recover from that.
Yeah, again, I will be here. Thanks, Richie. See, Richie's still here. Richie's making sure his kids are okay as well. And then I also appreciate this as well. Oh, wrong one. Kept COVID call-ups from the practice squad. Okay, great. Thanks again, shipmate. That's why we have you on. So again, I like Marcus Mariota. I do, and once he is available. I mean, I liked with the fact that when I saw him in the game in Monday, and again, I was sitting, where my seat was, corner end zone, and I saw him come in the game, and because if I remember correctly, Carr flanked out to the left, and because they had the package, they were both in there at the same time, and I see Carr go out to the left like as a wide receiver. I mean, I knew he wasn't going to get the ball, but still. And then that wonderful run that Mariota made, it was like, what, a 25, 30-yard run or so. Okay. And then he's done for 4 weeks, which is unfortunate. But he had been gimpy all during training camp, which is why we didn't see him. And we put him in for one great play, and at least it's on film. Everybody in the NFL knows that there is a play on film. And it's something that we will have in our repertoire. I'm sure Mariota will also be able to do RPOs as well. But, I like the fact that we have that availability. So
yeah, well, Gruden said that he had some packages for Mariota last year, but he was injured the whole time. Sorry. He said he had packages, but he was injured all last year. And I was like, that's interesting. And then I see one happening in the game. I'm like, what? And this could get very, very interesting if Mariota could stay healthy because the NFL's on notice.
Richie put a question out, folks. I'll let you guys answer that while I take a breather.
I don't think it's an issue. I actually think that it could be a strength. The offense does change when Mariota comes in, but it's dynamic. It gets ignited a little bit more than it does under Carr. It's an entirely different feel. And they have plays for Mariota. They have packages for him. So they're prepared for when he does come in, and they can use him either as a full-time sub. Sorry, Jack is doing his best. They can use him as a full sub if Carr goes completely out, or they can just use him in those packages, sparingly, situationally when it's appropriate. But I don't think it's that much of an issue because the Raiders seem to be able to handle it.
I don't see it as an issue. I see it as a strategy. I'll give you, for instance, I used to coach softball. I had 5 guys that were left-handed and 5 guys that were right-handed, and I mixed them up back and forth. My 2 power hitters were number 4 and number 8. The defense out in the field could not get comfortable because they had to shift every batter, and it made them uncomfortable. They couldn't find a comfortable spot in the field, and we won a city championship in LA. What I'm thinking is Gruden thought he was going to use Mariota to come in with packages like the Saints are using right now and mix it up and throw them off. Like, you can't get comfortable. You're ready. You're gaming for Derek Carr. Now you got a game for, you got to practice. You got to prepare for 2 quarterbacks, 2 different styles of play. I think it's a brilliant strategy. I don't think it's an issue at all.
And Richie, I was gonna say I don't really think I can say anything further. You know, it's an asset because it's not the old thing where the people said if you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have a quarterback. No, we have packages, and that's part of the norm nowadays of having specialties that can be used. And I think that will be something that will be good for the Raiders. And there you go. As long as we employ the packages as needed, it'll be good. And I appreciate the. I think that it'll be good. Yeah, and you even said that having it like Taysom Hill and Breeze, it's an asset. It's not about a negativity. Oh yeah, and Chris, I've been missing for about 2 weeks, but again, I am going to be. I will be doing shows as possible, but if my throat goes away during a show, don't be surprised if it's like 30 minutes, gotta go. And so I will be doing shows as I am healthy. So I just wanted to let you guys and gals know that. So there you go.
You know what, Kevin? I got your back. I got your back. I got your back.
Who got my back?
I got your back.
I ain't saying it no more.
Sorry, man. I just wanted to let everybody know I got your back, bro.
I know. and stupid me doing like what's going on. But again,
Heidi missed it.
Did you see it, Heidi, or hear it?
I heard something. I heard a lot of yelling.
No. You've seen the new NFL commercial with the kids that are out in LA. You know, the like the team. Not a team, but yeah. And it said, "Who got my back?" And then of course, then old boy, what's his nose, the guy who plays for a lot of money, comes in. And it's like, who got my back? So Daniel and I were doing an offshoot of back because I was telling people in case my throat goes out during any of these shows, and Daniel was always there saying, "Hey, he got my back." So I'm glad to have that.
Well, I was yelling, "I got your back," and then he started yelling, "Who got my back?" I started yelling, "I got your back," and he started coughing. I thought, "Oh God, I just killed him."
Well, I was trying to corral the German Shepherd, the pit bull, and Jack at the same time.
You're multitasking.
It's what women do.
The cat wasn't in there at all.
What?
The cat played well during all of this.
Yes, she was resting in the corner.
Good, because I
Not
don't
participating. Know. Cat's got a cat.
Yeah. I'm going to show you something that is very, very hard to see. Mexican cat juggling.
Now, if you want to play a dangerous sport, cat baptismals.
Anyway, I did put this up. By the way, folks, our spots are full because Betsy Rodas has got 4 more entries on the wheel tonight. And I know that Raider Neil and Vicky have 1 each. So we're actually a little over. But we have the wheel that will be full. We had the the 50 plus the 5 and the 5, which we'll figure out. So yes, we will have that spin. I got to do it. I will do it soon. I swear. If I have time tomorrow, I will do it for the show for Thursday. But we will have a spin of the wheel for the treasure chest of prizes. Remember, every time you give me a $5 donation, your name goes on the wheel and you can win a fantabulous prize. So we will have a wheel spin real soon. Jesse, thank you for getting those spaces up.
Oh.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Remember Horseshack from Welcome Back, Hunter? Oh, yeah. When did this start with the wheel? Was that back in like April or May?
I've had wheel spins for a while.
Okay, because I think I contributed to the wheel. Am I disqualified? If
No.
I am.
No.
Oh,
no,
if
no,
I
no.
am, I was going to say, put my wife on there.
No. A donation is different than being a member of the, and this is the other thing, the most valuable asset, most valuable crewman, that is different.
Most valuable ass. Right.
You're disqualified from being in the most valuable crewman.
Right.
But, and the Phillies just won. Thank God. The Phillies just won. A Bryce Harper from first base on a triple. So, and I'm sorry, I just had to interject because I've been watching this out of the corner of my eye.
Condolences, Raiderette China.
Yes.
Condolences to you and your family.
Oh, did I? What I missed something?
Raider at China and Danny won't be able to catch the Miami Raiders game on Sunday as they will be attending his dad's funeral.
Well, I see that. China,
So.
I'm very sorry to hear that, honey. My condolences to you and all your family. So best to you. I just saw it. So again, our prayers and deepest condolences to you and all yours. So thank you as well. So and again, China always gives good comments and contributions, and we miss that as well. I want to make sure I do this before I do the show or end the show for most valuable crewman, and I know that we got some good people in there tonight. I know that we haven't had one in a while because I've been sick and I haven't had some shows. So I gotta say Richie is definitely on the list.
That's who I was going to nominate.
Well, okay. I'll tell you what. Then you can nominate Richie.
Okay.
Browns guy.
Okay, so you got Richie Richey, and you nominate Matt from the Browns.
Right.
Okay, Matt Bouchane. I gotta see. I gotta see if that. Well, I know Richie hasn't been nominated. Matt might already be there. So give me a couple other names, just in case. You know, like maybe Matt was there. Let me go try to see if I can find the list. Apologies here, I didn't have it ginned up.
Who else came on?
Sorry, what?
Who else came on?
No, I'm talking about for the month. This is for the month.
Oh.
Yeah, no, because again, if you're nominated, that you're you only nominated once for the month for each month. So I'm looking to see. Might have already been there. Oh crap! Because my computer was off, it might be a while for me to. Yeah. Let me see here. September. No. They're good. They're good. So Matt's good. And Richie, I know Richie was good. So Matt's good. Richie, I gotta nominate somebody. Okay. Wow. See, and I let me see. I'm gonna go through see some of the see some of the comments that I have had. Let's see here. Okay, there's possibility. Actually, who's the gentleman that always talks? Is it Jack Kent? Yeah, like the other OG that from way back. Yeah, Jack Kent, because I saw his comment.
What about the spammer from Japan? Why don't we nominate?
No. I'm actually glad that I saw that as quickly as I did, and because that could have been a royal zoo.
Yeah, that can get your channel shut down.
Yeah, that was a royal zoo waiting to happen.
Yeah, you got to catch those because you'll get your channel shut down quick on that kind of stuff.
And actually, I got another one as well for Raider Man, who contributed this comment, and I like this, Raider Man 81. And his comment was, and there you go. I I agree with that. And I'm also going to put up Thumper World for his as well. For this comment as well, because it's worthwhile. So
the problem with letting Jacobs go, if he feels like he can, is he is going to feel like he can, even if he shouldn't.
Right.
And it's going to undo all the progress he's made in this previous 2 weeks. So I would definitely rest him.
Lingering thing.
Because he's a player. He's going to say he can go.
Okay. Jesse has. Jesse, now? Is this another? Is this another 10? Okay, I'd like to give my spots on the wheel to the other two hosts on tonight's live great show. So Jesse, are you now? There are more than 2 hosts tonight. We had 3. We had 3 hosts tonight. So you're gonna have to delineate Peggy or Kevlar or Daniel.
Ladies first.
Hey, I'm dressed like one at least, okay?
I think. Okay, we'll see. And it's Jesse just gave us another. So there's now.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thanks, Jesse. You're the man.
So what I'm thinking is that y'all get 1. I could be wrong, but I think there you go. Immediately go.
Right,
that's fair.
I'm going to change. Can I change from the Cleveland guy to Jesse Rodas?
Well, Jesse has got quite a few hits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jesse's got like 4, 8, 12. He's got at least 12 spots.
Oh, all right, Jesse.
Yeah.
Killer.
Yeah. Now, the young child that you hear, Velvet, is young Jack. Okay.
No, that's my inner child just trying
He's
to come
with me. I'm babysitting him for Angria Trask right now.
Okay. Now, before we go, I do want to say, YouTube user, hey Captain, great to see you. It's Tennessee, Florida week. Oh wow, I'm not sure. I think that might be my buddy. Tennessee, Florida week. Is that my? That might be my boy. That is my Tennessee guy. But before we go,
hello.
Before we go, I'm getting on King Washington, who's going to be talking to us about his Washington Football Club. King, you got the mic.
With his camera. It looks like he's looking over the fence.
put your camera down. You look like the guy that used to be on the show with what do you call it?
He's like down here.
Here, give me 1 minute.
Oh, okay. So we'll get King Washington on in a minute. He will be our last person on. But thank you there. Oh, Chris Haley. Okay, there you go. Oh, so it's not who I thought it was, but it's Chris Haley. Chris Haley, who is a shipmate of mine, literally a shipmate of mine, because his father was a chief and my father was a chief. Actually, his father was a master chief and my father was a master chief. Chris, good to see you, brother. And he is all Vols all the time. Chris, I didn't even realize it was Tennessee week. I've been so enamored with a bunch of other things that went on. So, Chris, make sure that you got my number, and we'll definitely have to correspond during the Tennessee game. Is it up in checkerboard land this year, or is it down in Florida? I haven't even been paying attention. I think it's up in Tennessee this year because we just played Gamma down in Florida, and that's gonna be a very good game. So Chris Haley says, "Hey, go Vols!" Good to see you. Now we got King Washington on. Shipmate, tell me about that Washington football team. What's the good thing? Oh, it's in Gainesville. Okay, amazing.
Hey, before I say anything, go Raiders. Listen, I like. Oh, sorry. All right. Yeah, the Raiders have been playing good, but back to my team. I don't know. The defense hasn't been playing like it should be. And the offense is the offense, but we don't have we don't have a great offense, and we should have a better defense than we have. Our secondary is just getting ripped apart past the 2 games that we've had. So that, but I really like how the Raiders are playing right now. I just wanted to come on and say that before you ended it.
And I appreciate that. And I know that we were going to have you and Gabriel on at halftime. I apologize. There was no way in hell I was going to have a show. Because even though as scratchy as I sound right now, I had no voice for the last several days. So I was attempting to do it now. And I don't want to jinx myself, but at least I've gotten through this portion of it. But I will be down with this voice probably for at least another week or two. And I will be doing things as possible. By the way, I still can't sleep at night because I cough too much. I'm not getting any sleep because I just can't sleep when you're about ready to hack up a lung. So I'm going back to work tomorrow. And so hopefully my head won't be hitting the keyboard because I'm not getting any sleep. So I appreciate y'all working with me, but I definitely wanted to make sure I had a show. I will be on tomorrow night. And make sure you guys watch if you can. It is on the N-FL channel. It's NFL Nation Live. It's myself, Violator, and Ref Guru, who was on earlier. I enjoy the show. I mean, I did the show last week, and I did it with a scratch board because I didn't want to use my voice, but I wanted to be a part of the show. So I was doing comments through this because I didn't want to talk. But NFL Nation Live tomorrow on that channel. Please be sure to watch. It's interactive. You guys can comment. You can't come in and talk or things like that. But we appreciate all your comments and talk to us about what's going on with your team. Dude, you're looking more old every day. I say that in a positive. I say that in a positive way. You might need to start getting a good fake ID pretty soon. Not that I'm putting thoughts in your head. Not that I'm putting thoughts in your head. But it is good. It is good to see you. And again, what are your thoughts real quick on is Heineke going to take you for the next few games? I think you should give him a chance, and I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, I like him. I like Heidi a lot. You know, your first game, I mean, he didn't play terrible, but he didn't play bad. You know, especially next week, the Bills are going to be hard to play. So take it week by week. But, I mean, I think he can do it. I think he can succeed. I'm ready. I like Heidi, and I got to give him another game, too.
Well, when does Fitzpatrick come back?
I think 6 to 8 weeks.
Ooh.
So it's going to be a while, but.
Yeah, that's a while.
There's a lot of rumors about us picking up RG3. Probably won't happen, and I don't think it will happen because we didn't want to pick up Cam. We want to go for veteran quarterback. That's what Ron said. So we probably won't pick up RG3, but I would like to pick him up. I have his jersey. So.
Okay. Well, hey, partner, I appreciate you coming on and spending the last couple minutes with us. Always welcome. And again, good seeing you. Say hello to everybody over there on that other, Sneaky G network. Just tell them, Captain can't come on. I can barely come on my show. I just wait. I tell them I'm waving at Sneaky G.
I got you.
All right. You take care, brother. You be well.
You too.
All right. That's
so Kevlar's puppy made a cameo during all that.
I did.
You know what? My dog's made a cameo twice on your show. He just jumps up in my lap. He's an Australian cattle dog. He's 50 pounds and he's like climbing all over me. Just whenever you're on, I don't know why. It's only your show.
Well, Clarice likes to do that too. She'll pin Angria down and just lick her to death.
Oh, but she got up around his shoulders and made a cameo appearance on the show. And it was like,
yeah.
Like the dogs love Captain.
So you're saying my show is for the dogs?
No, they're just
it.
fans. No, they're fans. They're fans.
Well, hey, I got fans that are cats and dogs, and hey, that's good. As long as people are entertained, and I know that I'm always entertained, and I'm blessed to have you guys on my show, along with Peggy, along with Angria, who did make an appearance tonight, along with Jack, and all the other folks that were there. So I appreciate you guys being here on the Captain and Wenches Show. And Matthew 72007, I am trying to feel better every day. So I will take it day by day, and I need to know tomorrow. I need to go out and get some more Ricola.
You might want to load yourself up on hot tea with lemon and honey too.
Yeah, I'm out of. Trust me, my lemon was gone 2 days ago. Or sorry, no, my honey was gone 2 days ago.
And buy local honey. I mean, you caught this stuff probably when you were in Vegas, so you probably needed their honey.
Yeah, you need Vegas honey.
Vegas honey.
I do need Vegas honey, but I'm not sure how much they cost anymore because I have to go out to certain spot. Never mind.
No, not those kind of Vegas honeys. The different kind of Vegas honey.
Thank you. Somebody who actually was receiving what I was putting out. Not literally.
We got honey producers that make this big jar of honey for $8.
Oh.
And it lasts us like a year. And it's huge. It's like I think it's a quart. And it's only $8, which is super cheap for honey.
Yeah.
We got local producers here in South Carolina, and I use it. I use it because summertime would be a nightmare if I didn't have that. And the fall, because we got different pollens in the air in the fall.
We had our first snow this morning.
Whoa!
Yeah, didn't snow a lot, but it was snow. So we don't have to worry about the pollen for too much longer.
Tomorrow we're having our first 70s day, 70-degree day. Yeah, it's going to get down in the 70s. It's going to be thunderstorms, and then it's going to be 70s the rest of the week. And that's our first bout with the 70s. It's been 80s, 90s, 100s.
We haven't had to worry about that.
I was up in Alaska in 1986, and we had to change from our dress blues to our dress whites because it was like 95 degrees out.
Oh, you must have been inland.
We were in Anchorage.
Anchorage has never gotten to 95.
Check 1986 Anchorage temperatures. You'll find a different story. It was hot. We had to switch from dress blues to dress whites to go out in town. And I love your bars, by the way. They stay open 23 hours a day.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The only bad downside is come out of a bar at 3 a.m. and it's like coming out of a cinema. It's like the sun's out. What the hell's going on?
That's the best part. That's the best part.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love that so much.
And even on duty days, we had to stay on board the ship because you have duty sections.
Mm-hmm.
We had wire baskets with rotten chicken legs tied on the inside. Throw them over the side and pull it up. They're full of crab. That was cool.
And on that note, with Jack saying that we don't talking about bars being open and crabs. I get it, but again, folks, remember I got to do the cut-ups. It's been wonderful seeing you, Heidi. You take care. Thanks again, OG, and be well. Best to Angria and Jack, and of course our love for Peggy. We will see everybody in 2 weeks for another episode of Captain and Wenches. Remember, next Tuesday night we'll have an episode of Chronicles of the Black Hole. I believe we're doing Willie Brown because we're supposed to do Willie Brown tonight, but things got kind of pushed because some old geezer had a sickness. So we'll be doing. No, it's not OG. It was me.
Take care of yourself. Okay.
I'm trying.
And that was the cat.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we had to have an appearance from the cat. Next Tuesday night, Chronicles of the Black Hole, 10 o'clock Eastern. Not 9, 10 o'clock Eastern on the DOX ENT channel. Willie Brown for that. Captain and Wenches in 2 weeks, where we will be talking about 2 weeks worth of games again. I guess that is a good thing we did 2 weeks worth of games to get everybody ready for that. So we'll be ready for y'all. Thanks again. Take care of yourself. I will take care of myself as best as possible. I'm not going in any games for a while, so I will be somewhat rested as much as I can, as long as I can try to get some sleep at night. Be well, everybody.
Be well. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. We'll see you. As soon as I can figure out where my mouse is. Oh, okay, there it is. There you go. Bye, Heidi.
Bye.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you in a bit.
You're listening to the Captain Jack Sports Show on Northeast Streaming Sports.